Test.
For rounds in the OAC tournament, right? The top 4 gets home.
Yeah.
Winner of this game will get home court.
I just clocked in, but I don't know where. Yeah, I didn't do a department. I was have to email Lenny afterwards.
Is it Annika or Anika?
Hanukkah.
Annika. Is it Palamone or Palamone?
Palamone.
Palamone. Ellie Walkman. I'd imagine such with the T's at the end. And now at the beginning it came off.
Ellie Walkman.
Yeah. Kaylee Cyphers, Natalie Galeta, Reagan Stone Rock, Josie Kaiser, Addie Becker, and Gabby Ledbetter. Dixie Jeffers, head coach. Ian Jones.
And welcome to the Mount Union live stream. I'm Will Brienza, alongside me today Brennan DeVinny, as we are live here at the McPherson Academic and Athletic Complex, otherwise known as the MAC, for a huge OAC matchup, the regular season finale and senior day here for the Purple Raiders, as the 14-10 Purple Raiders take on the 13-11 Crusaders of Capital. Both teams 8-9 in conference play, and the winner of this one will get a home court advantage for the OAC tournament. Brendan, after hearing all that, what are your keys to today's game?
Well, I think today for Mount Union, definitely the goal is to get out hot and start the game the way you want to. Covering the women's team this year, they've had quite a few games where they've had to try and crawl their way back into the contest and win the ball game in the fourth quarter. If you can get out to a huge lead in the first quarter and really set the tempo and keep Capital at bay, I think the Raiders can definitely come out on top today on senior day. It's the last regular season home game for the two seniors, Annie Sauter and Hannah Schaefer. So it's definitely a huge key for the Raiders to get out hot and start the game that they want to.
And last matchup between these two teams, Mount Union came away with a close one on the road, 68-65. So Mount Union with a chance to sweep the season series against Capital. And for starting lineups, as we're a few moments away from tip-off for Mount Union, Zany Sauter and Hannah Schaefer, both seniors, getting the start. Elena Rao, Karina Maynard, and Haley Peoples-O'Neill will be the other three starters for the Purple Raiders. As for Capital, we'll see Cassidy Bosch, Emma Burns, Caroline Taphorn, Ellie Walkman, and Reagan Stonerock taking the court for the Crusaders as the starters head towards center court, ready for the tip-off. Our matchup at tip-off today will be Haley Peoples-O'Neill and Reagan Stonerock. Has 10 minutes up on the clock, and we're ready to start this one. And Capital will win the tip-off. Haley Peoples-O'Neill gets the hand on the ball, but Capital comes down with it, and they will start this one off on offense. Stonerock with the ball. Inside to Walkman. Shot put up by Cassidy Bosch, and it's good. 2-0 Capital to start this one. Karina Maynard takes up the court for the Purple Raiders. Over to Rao. Pass to Sauter tip, but Zanny able to reestablish possession. Elena drives, stops, looks for an option, back out to Schaefer. Sauter at the top of the key. Over to Schaefer, shot clock under 10. Over to Rao. Drive, shot off the glass and no good. Rebounded by Schaefer, out to Sauter. She'll take the three. Off and rebounded by Stonerock. Capital will take it up the court. Over to Taphorn. A little bit of an opening as they move it around the horn here. Beautiful ball movement. Bad pass will go out of bounds. Mount Union ball.
That last offensive possession for the Raiders. A couple second chances there for Mount Union. They got lucky. Almost a steal by Capital with the route to Sauter pass, and then that huge offensive rebound by Schaefer. They have to be able to cash in on those when you get those same second chances that the Crusaders give you.
I couldn't agree more. Sauter running all over the court right now. Passes back out to Rao. Rao will take it in off the glass and good, and will even the score back up at 2.
That's where Elena Rao, that's just her capability. She's probably one of the best players as far as finesse goes.
And Haley Peoples-O'Neill with the block and recovery as Mount Union will take it back down the court. High pass, Rao able to handle it. Back over to Maynard, and Cassidy Bosch gets a little too aggressive going for the steal, and they'll call a foul.
That's the second time that Cassidy Bosch has went for that steal coming from Elena Rao. I'd recommend Rao just being a little more patient with those plays.
As Rao, not the best pass, but will inbound it to Schaefer. Over to Sauter. She'll take the three. It's up and good. Nothing but net. And 2 back-to-back great offensive possessions for the Purple Raiders.
And why not Zany Sauter getting a start on senior day? It hasn't been an everyday starter this year, so that's huge for her.
Emma Burns over to Stonerock, back over to Bosch. Ball movement crucial for this Capital offense. And another bad pass. Peoples-O'Neill comes up with it, and Mount Union takes over. up to Schaefer, and they're going to get Schaefer with a travel. She was not expecting the pass, and as soon as she saw it coming, she couldn't help but to run with it without dribbling.
Right idea by Haley Peoples-O'Neill to try and get the ball up court to her. Schaefer has to be able to expect those passes.
As fast down the court comes Bosch, and when she goes up, Peoples-O'Neill will get called with the shooting foul, so 2 shots coming to Cassidy Bosch, the senior forward from Logan. So that's Peoples-O'Neill's first personal, team first. We'll see 2 subs for Mount Union as Hessel will check in alongside Gosman. Checking out Schaefer and O'Neill. First shot, no good.
Cassidy Bosch, 80% at the line.
She'll go 1 of 2. And we'll cut the Purple Raider lead down to 2. Maynard will take it up the court for the Purple Raiders. Over to Hessel. Sauter with the ball. Rao comes around, receives the pass, and not a good decision there as it's taken by Capital. They'll run it up the court. Ball movement again, Capital all about moving the ball around. Usually 5 girls per possession touch the ball. Shot by Bosch from 3, and it's good. Capital take a 1-point lead. Maynard runs it back up the court for the Purple Raiders as the pace is picked up by both teams. Sauter with the ball, over to Rao. Great pick there by Hessel. Rao with the right hand, no good. And Capital comes up the board.
Wide open lane there for Rao. You have to be able to just go hard to the basket. She was off balance a little bit when she went for the layup, and got to be able to hit those.
Inbound pass to, or not inbound pass, but pass into the paint to Bosch. Shot no good. 3-point shot good as Capital, Emma Burns with the shot there, and Capital with back-to-back 3-point possessions. Maynard brings it up the court for the Purple Raiders, over to Sauter. Inside to Gosman. Gosman backing down the defender. Up and good. Great right-handed layup there. And Gosman's on the board. Mount Union already playing a press defense. Able to recover and get down court quickly. Pass over to Burns. Burns looks for something. And she'll find Walkman inside. Layup no good. Gets her own rebound and is fouled, so she'll get 2 shots.
Already seeing from Capital that they have that capability of making the Raiders pay. A couple huge offensive possessions in a row that they got a bucket on a bad pass from Rao, and then Rao wide open layup missed. Crusaders came down and drilled a 3, and like I said, Mountain Union has to be able to get this game started the way they want to, and so far they've had issues with their offensive play on their side of the court, so they have to be able to clean those mistakes up if they want to be able to keep Capital at bay here.
And Walkman will go 2 for 2 from the line, extending their lead to 4. Hensley and Glass both check in for the Purple Raiders. Hensley drives, right hand off to the right. Rebounded there by Stone Rock. Bringing up the court for the Crusaders is Erica Linder, who just checked in on that previous free throw attempt. Stone Rock drives, lowers the shoulder, and they're going to call an offensive foul there. As you can see her lower her shoulder. Didn't see who took the foul, but
that was Brianna Gossman.
Gossman takes the foul, feet set, and Mount Union will get the ball.
Officials talking about that here. It looked like maybe one of the officials saw something differently.
She definitely did lower her shoulder. Whether Gossman's feet were set or not, it didn't look like whether her feet were set or not, like it was clean. But they're going to change it.
Wow.
They're going to call a blocking foul on Gosman.
Boy, that changes everything as Mount Union's bench gets up and tries to back their star forward.
And Susie Vanette not happy as she's given an earful
She's trying to get a technical.
To the men in stripes, but nonetheless, it'll be 2 shots for Stone Rock.
I tell you, it takes a lot to change a call in Division III.
Yeah.
We don't have the advantage of having instant replay here, and so that's a gutsy call to change.
And the basket they said was good, which it was, so it'll be an and 1 foul. So Capital's lead extended to 6, pending 7. Shot up and good. Capital leads 14-7 as we have 5:21 remaining in the first quarter. Maynard will bring up the court for the Purple Raiders. Over to Hensley. And they're going to call an illegal pick or an illegal
Screen there, yep.
rather, as they're going to get, it looks like, Sarah Hessel with the foul, and she'll come off alongside Gosman, the two who received the last 2 fouls, as Peoples O'Neill and Schaefer will check back in, and Capital take back over. Bringing it up the court for the Crusaders is Erica Linder. She'll get it over to Taphorn. Taphorn trying to find an opening inside the Stone Rock. Stone Rock back down, Peoples O'Neill, left hand and good, as Capital pouring it on right now. Maynard will bring it up the court for the Purple Raiders. Over to Glass. Back over to Schaefer. Great defense by Capital. Inside to Peoples O'Neill. Great shuffle move there, and the right hand up and good. Press defense played by the Purple Raiders now, as Capital cannot get it up the court. And they'll find it as Stone Rock takes it up. It's a 3-on-1 for Capital. And Peoples O'Neill able to get her hand on it and hit it off of Emma Burns' legs. Purple Raiders ball. Great job by Peoples O'Neill to handle a 3-on-1 there.
Yeah, and if I'm Stone Rock there, just go to the basket. There was really no need for that extra bounce pass. It was 3-on-1, but like you said, great play by Peoples O'Neill. Stone Rock just has to go right up in to Peoples O'Neill, probably draw a foul, get the and 1 maybe. But Mount Union has to try and stop this momentum from Capital. Capital's off to a great start.
Inside Peoples O'Neill, an awkward shot, no good. Stone Rock checks out as Cyphers checks in for Capital on that previous out of bounds. Taking it in, not the greatest looking layup we've ever seen, but they're going to get a jump ball on the rebound, and I believe possession's pointing towards the Purple Raiders, and it is, so Purple Raiders ball.
So
Sam Seck will check in for Capital. Zanny Sauter back in for the Purple Raiders.
So here's something what I'm talking about. Something goes Mount Union's way. They get that jump ball, get the ball back. You got to be able to buy a bucket here, cut into the lead. You can't let Capital veer off any further.
Glass with a 3-point shot from deep, no good, off the left side of the rim and out, as Capital will bring it back up the court. Linder brings it up for the Crusaders. Back over to Bosch. Bosch to Amert. Over to Seck, and it's stolen by Sauter. Sauter taking up the court. She's going to slow it down, considering those 2 defenders to her lone self. Out to Hensley. 3-point shot up and no good, as it'll be rebounded by the Crusaders, and they'll slow down pace as well.
Rare miss from Hensley there. She'll make that 9 out of 10 times.
Beautiful move there, and Cassidy Bosch finds 2 points as the Capital lead extended to 8. We're under 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter, and another Capital steal up the court, and Schaefer's just going to take the foul and make her earn her 2 points.
That looked like it may have been clean, but nothing really going Mount Union's way here. That last possession for Capital, someone lost their assignment in the paint there. I mean, that was as open as it's going to get for a wide open layup.
Sauter will be the only Purple Raider to remain on the court. Checking in Elena Rao, Brianna Gosman, Annika Sweeney, and Sarah Hessel.
Sauter so far the only player who has not taken a seat yet.
First shot up and good, as Brooke Amert taking 2 shots from the free throw line. Second good as well. First 2 points for Brooke Omert. As she'll check out, and Stone Rock will check back in. Sauter will bring it up the court for the Purple Raiders. Capital leads 20-9 in this first quarter. Elena Rowell with the ball. Loses her man. Over to Sweeney and just airmails it out of bounds. Sweeney not tall enough for that one. And Burnett has no other option to take a timeout, down 11, with obviously some miscommunications going on for the Purple Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's bad passes or missed layups underneath, Mountain Union has got to figure out what their offensive style is here. Down 20-9, you're still within reach. A long way to go, obviously. But I mean, it's not just the offensive side either. They have to get back. Capital a couple fast break points here within the past few minutes, and they got to fix a lot of stuff here throughout the next 3 quarters.
And some fouls not helping them out as they have 5 fouls to Capital's 1, which isn't going to help you. As Capital will bring it back up the court after the Purple Raider turnover. Taphorn brings up the court over to Bosch. Bosch finds Walkman inside, shot no good as Stone Rock gets the rebound. Taphorn has the ball, she'll drive, right hand, no good. Rebounded by Annika Sweeney. Sweeney will bring it up the court for Mount Union. Over to Gosman. Gosman trying to find something inside, back out to Sweeney. Over to Sauter. Sauter thought she had a shot for a second, but decides against it. Over to Rao. Rao gets her 3-point shot blocked, and Stone Rock will come up with it for the Crusaders. Bring up the court for the Crusaders is Taphorn. She has the ball right now. A little bit of separation. And a horrible pass there as Sauter's going to take it. Looked like she passed it to Sauter. And Sauter slows it back down to let her team catch up. Over to Hessel, back over to Sauter. Sweeney calls for the ball in the corner. She was open for a moment there. As Rao with possession right now for the Purple Raiders. Gosman comes up with the pass with one hand. She'll shoot from mid-range and make it. And the Purple Raiders finally over double digits. A minute remains in this first quarter. Capital 20, Mount Union 11. Taphorn will bring it in for Capital. Finds a pass to Walkman, and Walkman makes defenders miss. 2 points for her. Sauter brings it up for Mount Union. Over to Rao. Rao back to Hessel. There's not a lot of movement going on for Mount Union right now. Capital defense stopping everything. Gosman will take it in. Right hand too hard off the glass and no good.
I mean, that's just a gimme there. You got to make that.
And we'll call a foul as Sauter tried to set her feet. And they'll call it a shooting foul. Turley, Maynard, and Palamone all check in for the Purple Raiders as Gosman, Sauter, and Rao all go to the bench. First shot good as Emma Burns toes the line. Second shot also good. Oh no, rolls out. And that's one of the fastest free throws I've ever seen when it comes to the game of basketball. Really got the ball and was shooting before the refs could even say anything, but she'll go 1 for 2. Capital leads by 12 as 20 seconds remain. Sweeney from 3, no good off the front rim. Rebounded by Palamone as she has 2 defenders on her, and it gets knocked out by Capital as Mount Union has a chance to reset here. 12.4 remaining in the first quarter.
Want to draw up your best play here to try and get a shot before the end of the quarter.
Turley will inbound it to Maynard.
Huge chance to get some points.
6 seconds. Maynard to Sweeney. Step back, block. Hessel gets the rebound, throws it up, no good. And that will sound the first quarter as after one, Capital leading the Purple Raiders 23-11. leading scorer for Capital is Cassidy Bosch with 8. And Brendan, your thoughts on that first quarter?
Yeah, a lot of just standing around on offense for the Raiders. Not a lot of movement. They're pretty stagnant when it comes to that part of the game so far. Got to give credit to where credit's due. Capital has really pushed the ball well on offense. They're really making life hard right now for the Raiders on defense, but they've just got to be able to pick it up the pace here going into the second quarter. It looked like everyone was just tired out there. Just gotta start hitting your shots, and can't turn the ball over as many times as they did there in the first quarter.
You also got to clean up the fouls. Mount Union had 6 in that first quarter. Capital only had 1. That's going to be a definite advantage, sending them to the line 4 times and 2 turnovers because of fouls. So every aspect of the game in that first quarter you got to do away with if you're the Purple Raiders and say, all right, we got 3 quarters to turn this around. That's a lot of time, 30 minutes in basketball time, and you're only down 12. It could be worse, but you got to forget that first quarter and go. As because of the jump ball in the first quarter, Capital will start with the ball in the second as well, as Erica Linder will bring it up the court for the Crusaders. Linder over to Stone Rock. Stone Rock handed off to Sek. Sek drives, can't find anything, and shots blocked as Sek tries to go up to the left hand, and now you come up with the ball. Sweeney brings it up the court for the Purple Raiders. Over to Palamone, and tries to find it inside to Hessel, but underthrown. And the ball jumbles around between the players right there as Capital will come up with it. Over to Taphorn. Taphorn gets it to Amert. Over to Sek. To Stone Rock. Again, the ball moving by Capital. Stone Rock will take it up their left hand and will get fouled. Shot no good. Well, she'll get 2 shots at the line. As they'll get Izzy Palamone with the foul, her first, team first in this second quarter. As we're 51 seconds into the quarter, no points put up for either team. And here's Capital's chance to put some on the board. First shot good.
Raiders definitely playing with a bigger lineup right now. You got 3 big guys for defense and offense. Palamone, Hessel, Schaefer.
And Stone Rock will go 2 for 2. Walkman will check in for Capital.
Going even
checks in for, or Peoples O'Neill checks in for Mount Union.
Going even bigger now with Peoples O'Neill.
Maynard will bring it up the court for the Purple Raiders. Over to Turley. Back over to Maynard. Thought she had a shot. Capital closes the gap quickly on defense. And an inside pass to Peoples O'Neill with a little shove added to it. Get a foul on Capital. Walkman will get her first, team first. Maynard inbounds it, and it's intercepted, but Bosch not able to stay in bounds after the interception. Turley will pass it in now for the Purple Raiders. Peoples O'Neill. Over to Hessel. Hessel trying to make some moves over to Sweeney. Sweeney will shoot the 3 as she does not get the roll. Off the left rim and out. As Linder brings it up over to Taphorn. Taphorn into Stone Rock, back out to Linder. Linder has a 3-point shot and good. No, called a 2-foot on the line. And it'll be 27-11 Capital with 8 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Maynard brings it up quickly, and more miscommunication as Turley cuts. Maynard throws it out of bounds. Capital ball.
And the Raiders going to call a timeout. If that pass right there sums up pretty much the first quarter of the game so far.
As Rao will check in after the timeout. 8:12 remains in the second quarter. Again, Capital 28, Mount Union 11.
Mount Union
Struggles continue.
Yeah, Mount Union just needs to have someone to try and take over the game mentally and physically on the court right now. No one is trying to take leadership. Elena Rauchek's back into the game. She's one that you usually want to see take over. She can go on runs of her own if she has to, and right now that's probably a time to do it.
Hensley also checks in after the timeout. Linder over to Stone Rock. Back to Bosch. Over to Walkman. Stone Rock gets the ball back. Linder wide open in the corner. Decides to fake the shot and drive. Right hand just too hard off the glass and a bad roll. No good. Rebounded by Hessel. Mount Union takes up the court. Over to Rao. Rao tries to find Peoples O'Neill. And another bad pass.
Wow, trying to just force it there. Peoples O'Neill, but that pass was in traffic and got deflected out of bounds. Nice defense there from the Crusaders, though. You got to give them credit on that. Wow.
Right there, Emma Burns.
That was like a shove, yeah.
They're gonna call Maynard with the foul. Capital remains possession.
Don't be surprised if Coach Finette gets a technical here at some point.
Yeah, she has been unhappy all day long. Started with the change of calls and now a bad call there. And she has reason to be unhappy as Linder gets the inbound pass over to Bosch. Bosch to Stone Rock, beautiful pass inside and a left hand and good. As Capital continues to pour it on.
What a play. Your typical back door.
Rao gets the ball poked out. Hensley able to recover. Over to Peoples O'Neill. As Mount Union moves the ball around inside to Rao and right-handed good, and that's the kind of plays you need if you're Mount Union to get back into this one. As defensive press, Capital struggling. Hensley almost comes away with it. Over to Schaefer. And they're going to call a timeout before the 8-second violation is called. Almost a jump ball there, and great press defense by the Purple Raiders.
And that last play from Schaefer to Rao, that's just your tip. That's just caused by movement on the floor. Players just moving around and not stopping and just standing there like they have been throughout most of the game. Yeah, and it's been tough as far as, you're basically not just facing Capital, you're trying to battle against the referees too. You can't do much about that though. I mean, you can only...
You gotta control what you can.
Yeah, fix what you're doing right now, and down 17, a lot of time to play. Just gotta take possession by possession here.
And Stone Rock will inbound it for Capital. Over to Bosch. Already past half court. Back out to Burns. Burns takes the shot, no good. Rebounded by Gosman. Gosman checked in during the timeout. Gosman to Rao and pass just too far ahead and turnover.
Bounce pass. You want to bounce pass in that situation.
Hensley out, glass in.
I mean, that was a baseball pass like 5 yards away.
As bringing it up to court for Capital will be Bosch. Over to Linder. Linder trying to lose Elena Rao here. Pass no good and turnover Capital. So back-to-back bad possessions as far as passing goes for both teams. And as 6:15 remains, Mount Union will take it up the court. Maynard over to Rao. Rao goes up to right hand and one as she will execute the right hand. Awkward acrobatic shot there, but goes in, finds a way to get it in, and has a chance for three.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, Elena Rao is it's probably the best player on the court as far as finesse and being able to play more than just fundamentals.
And her free throw is no good, so it'll just be a 2-point play as it takes down the Capital lead to 15.
She's definitely going to be the one to have to try and bring this team back into the ballgame.
As passing around the perimeter for Capital. And Rao kind of just lays her shoulder there into Burns, and it'll be a foul, her second, team third for this second quarter. And they're going to change it to an offensive foul.
Wow.
Maybe that's a makeup call for what happened earlier, or
I don't know. I think that foul was granted properly, but I've never seen 2 changed foul calls in one half.
as Sek will check out for Capital, or check in for Capital, along with Brooke Ummert. As they'll get Walken with the foul correction, and that's her second, team third. As Mount Union has possession. Maynard over to Hustle, or Schaefer, correction. Back over to Maynard. Inside to Gosman. Goes up the right hand, off the rim, and no good. Another awkward layup taken by the Purple Raiders. Passed a little bit ahead, but Capital able to catch up with it into Stone Rock. She'll go up with her right hand, no good. Maynard comes down with it for the Purple Raiders. And they're going to get a reach on Caroline Taphorn. Her first, team fourth, and she just got a little too aggressive after not winning the rebound.
This is where you just gotta cash in. A couple of calls going your way here. Free possessions. Use them. Take advantage of it.
Over to Glass. Glass gets a little separation. She'll shoot the three. Bounced high off the rim and no good. As Schaefer comes up with the rebound, out to Rao. Rao loses her dribble. Over to Glass. Over to Maynard. Shot clock down under 10. Gosman loses her man and an easy lay-in for 2. As Mount Union back to the press. Capital beats it pretty easily this time. As they'll have to slow down due to a 2v3. Stone Rock out to Burns. As Capital moves it over, all 5 players have touched the ball in this possession. And Taphorn with the shot, no good. Stone Rock gets the rebound, no good. And Gosman will come up for the Purple Raiders. Pass ahead to Maynard. Maynard will go to the rim. And they'll call an offensive foul on Karina Maynard, as a lot of offensive fouls being called in this one, Brendan.
Yeah, they've definitely been picking up the number of foul calls here in the second quarter. It's now 4-3 Capital in that category, but they're getting a little more picky here.
Sauter, Hensley, and Annika Sweeney all check in for the Purple Raiders. They do a big substitution. Inbound to Taphorn. Taphorn will bring it up for Capital. Going against Hensley. Loses the ball. Recovers. And she will find Almert inside, and Almert will find an easy 2 points. Over to Gosman. Gosman with the pump fake. Loses both defenders, but Almert gets a hand on it.
Called jump ball.
Oh, it looks like they're going to call out of bounds on Almert as they were fighting for the jump ball, and Almert rolled out. And one ref points Mount Union possession, and that's what they're going to go with. I know they changed it to a jump ball.
Okay.
For the discussion, possession arrow was towards Mount anyhow, so inbound to inside to Gosman. Just too hard off the glass once again, and few of these shots.
She's got to be able to make those.
You just light her off the glass, and you have like 6 more points in this one. Sweeney will get the steal. She'll bring it up the court, slows it down. Over to Sauter. Sauter to Schaefer. Inside to Gosman, and Gosman will lose it. as Burns will come up with the steal.
That is just a low percentage pass there from Schaefer. I mean, you have to be able to read the defense and see where they're coming from if you're going to pass it to a big man inside trying to back down. You have to be able to see the fact that they're just going to take that.
Taphorn almost loses it, but able to find Stone Rock. Taphorn will take the shot, no good. As Mount Union fights over the rebound with each other, Schaefer able to come up with it before it goes out of bounds. Schaefer will take up the court outside to Sauter. 3-point shot, good. And the Purple Raiders are back within 12.
Needed that one.
As Capital brings it back up the court, Linder with the ball right now. It's a screen from Stone Rock over to Amert. Amert to Burns. Burns, a little floater and good. 2 minutes remain until halftime. Capital leads 34-20. Schaefer with the ball right now. Over to Sauter. Sauter will take another 3-point shot. And no good.
That was close. Could have been the start of some momentum here at the end of the half.
And Burns tries to go inside, no good. She went up against two taller opponents. Sweeney will stop on the dime, shot no good. And Linder comes up with the rebound. Capital says slow down, and Linder will do so.
Trying to go in to halftime with a double-point lead here, or a double-digit point lead.
Stone Rock decides to pull up off the back rim and no good. Sweeney with the rebound. Sweeney finds Sauter. It goes out of bounds as a pass behind her. And really, if there's one thing, Brendan, to touch point on for the Purple Raiders, what they need to fix at the half, it's passing.
Yeah, I mean, that's basketball 101, which makes it even tougher to deal with. You think that that's something that you can fix easily, but when you get into a rut like this, it's hard
Purple
to
Raiders
come
will go
out of.
mass substitution. Rao, Turley, Ziegler, Hessel, and Peoples O'Neill all check in. Ziegler seeing the court for the first time today as we have a minute remaining in the half. Press defense almost forces a turnover, but Capital able to maintain possession. Taphorn with the ball right now. Screen set by Stone Rock, pass inside and fouled.
And that says a lot about where the Raiders are right now, offensively and defensively. Coach Vanette putting in Lainey Ziegler, just a sophomore who usually gets playing time in garbage time. The fact she's coming in right now at the end of the half, down 14. That says a lot about where the main 8 players are mentally.
First shot good. Second one no good, but rebounded by Capital. As they'll reset back to Taphorn. 50 seconds left. 35-20 Capital leads by 15. Taphorn will drive, right hand, no good. And Stone Rock gets the rebound once again. Pass out to Linder for 3, no good. And finally, Sarah Hessel able to rebound it for the Purple Raiders. She'll bring it up. Over to Turley. Turley will shoot the 3. No good. As rebound will go to Demi Brewer, freshman guard from Plain City, who checked in on the last time possible to check in. Taphorn with the ball. 5 seconds. Over to Linder. Back over to Taphorn. It will go out of bounds with less than a second remaining. As checking in for the Purple Raiders will be Claire Dolan, sophomore guard from Perry. Or correction, that's Paige Klinger, the freshman forward from Ashley. As there's not much time to do anything here.
Usually this is like a tap-in. Yeah, no.
Inbound to Linder. Took too much time. Shot doesn't count anyways. And with that, we're at halftime, Brendan. Capital 35, Mount Union 20. What does Mount Union have to do in this halftime in the locker room to change what's going on.
Well, if I'm Coach Vanette, I'm telling my players just to forget what just happened. Act like you didn't even play at this point. 15 points feels like a lot from what this team just went through in those 2 quarters, but it actually isn't a lot. They've come back from these type of deficits before, but I mean they have to come out with a fresh mind and tell each other, hey, let's just play smarter and act like we know what we're doing.
Yep, and the music there is the cue that it's time for us to take a break. Again, your score, Capital 35, Mount Union 20. We appreciate all of you tuning into the live stream for this one. I'm Will Brianza alongside Brendan Devaney, and we'll be back at the end of the half. And we are back here on the Mount Union live stream as we are about ready to start this second half between the Capital Crusaders and the Purple Raiders of Mount Union. As for the men's game, 10 seconds remain. The men's lead Capital 82-67, so it looks like they're going to be just one loss in OAC play this season as we are underway here from the MAC as Capital's first shot is off. Rebounded by Peoples O'Neill. Almost loses it, but is able to get it over to Maynard before Capital takes over. Over to Sauter, three-point shot up, no good. Peoples O'Neill rebounds it over Stone Rock. Over to Schaefer, almost goes out of bounds, and that passing, it's got to get better if Mount Union has any chance of coming back in this one. Over to Schaefer, she'll take the three-point shot, and it's good to start this one off. And Mount Union will kick off the second half with the first basket, bringing it back within 12.
Big start there for the Raiders.
Elena Rao almost gets the steal there, just short. And a left-handed floater, no good. As Rao gets the rebound and brings it up the court. Spin move, almost loses the defender. Over to Peoples O'Neill, who shot the three, no good. Peoples O'Neill fights for the rebound, and they're going to get her with a reach-in. She just went a little too aggressive there.
Yeah, too aggressive on that foul, too aggressive with that shot, too.
Yeah, it was a heat check for the team, probably, as she thought if Schaefer makes that, I got it, and with a hand in the face, not enough on it. Capital bringing up the court, led by Bosch. Cassie Bosch with the possession right now. Over to Burns. Burns over to Stone Rock. Back over to Bosch as Elena Rao takes it away from Bosch, and look at a jump ball here. And Capital, who started the half with the ball, that means Mount Union ball. Elena Rao with the steal, basically. Maynard brings it up the court for the Purple Raiders. Great defensive possessions for the Purple Raiders start, and a three-point shot by Schaefer is how we've started this first 2 minutes. Inside to Peoples O'Neill, high, no good. Rebounded by Schaefer. Back out to Maynard, who will take a three-point shot wide open, and good. And just like that, we're back to a single-digit ball game.
Second chance opportunities. Raiders taking advantage of them and drilling their shots too straight away. Schaefer and Maynard.
We are under 8 minutes, 35-26, Capital leads. Inside pass to Walkman, shot no good. Great defense by Schaefer there. And Capital unable to come up with it. Mount Union ball.
Solid D inside there by Schaefer, getting her, both her arms just straight up in the air.
Maynard hands it out to Sauter. Sauter finds a little lane to the hoop, left-handed in, good, and Mount Union off to an 8-0 run to start this second half. As they're playing the full court press, flat, and Capital able to cross half court, and they're going to call a timeout, try to stop this momentum as quick as possible as Mount Union comes out from the half, puts 8 points up before Capital can even get a basket, and we're sitting at a 35-28 game.
Yeah, whatever Coach Fournette said in that halftime speech, definitely working right now for Mount Union. I mean, they're getting back to their style of basketball, and it's what they were missing in there in that first half. It was like they didn't even know who they were. But now, coming back out, playing good defense, hitting their shots, playing together, which is the most important thing for a basketball team. So, yeah, solid run. Just had to let it continue.
As Annika Sweeney will check in for the Purple Raiders. And you're exactly right. Looks like a new team out here. And a drive. Looked like Rao got all ball, but they're going to call a foul. And it'll be 2 shots. As Cassie Bosch will take the line for 2 shots. Gosman will check in for Peoples O'Neill. And we talked about it before the game started. The huge implications on this one. Winner will at least get 1 home game in the OAC tournament. As Bosch's first shot good. And second one almost rolls out but does fall. And she'll go 2 for 2 inbound to Sauter. Sauter brings it up for the Purple Raiders. Tries to lose her defender. Over to Schaefer. Back over to Sauter. Back over to Schaefer as the keeps going between those two. Right hand in, good through the contact. No foul call, but a lot of contact. Schaefer able to get 2 points. Bosch brings it up. It's a one-on-one, her and Gosman. Bosch takes it straight up. Gosman doesn't foul, but too easy of a shot there for Bosch. Inbound to Sweeney. 9-point lead for Capital. Under 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Sauter to Schaefer. Over to Rao. Into Gosman. Gosman thought she got shoved, but Capital gets the steal.
Yeah, it may have been a little push there. Gutsy pass by Rao.
Taphorn over to Walkman and good. Beautiful play there. And Capital back up by double digits. Into Gosman. And an awkward shot as she had to reach back behind the hoop as she was overthrown on the pass there. No good. Capital take back down the court. And 3. And just like that, Capital's lead stretched back out to 14. And the momentum has completely shifted in the MAC.
First 4 minutes of the game, 2 whole different stories. An 8-0 run to start for Mountain Union, and then a 9-0 run here for Capital. It's like pick one.
And Vanette
After that timeout that Capital took, I mean they got back to playing good basketball.
Really a good timeout there by head coach Dixie Jeffers, and Vanette's hoping this will do the same for her Purple Raiders unit. As quite the change of events here.
Mountain Union wants to try and, if they want to win this ball game, you can't have Capital go on those runs.
Got to be more consistent, can't have the streakiness. Hessel will check in for Schaefer. As Maynard will bring it up the court for the Purple Raiders. She checks in for Sauter. Rao with the ball. Loses 1 defender and is fouled. Will get 2 shots. As that was Cassidy Bosch that got lost in between the screen. She hit the floor pretty hard, but luckily looks like she's just going to walk it off. Always hate to hear a body hit the ground that hard. Rao's first shot, no good, as Mount Union continues to struggle from the line, specifically Rao. Missed her and 1 earlier, and starting off with a miss here. Second shot good. As Mount Union's going to stick with the full court press. Sweeney gets beat. And it means an easy layup for Cassie Bosch. Cassie Bosch now with 14 on the day. Leading scorer for Capital. Stone Rock with 10. The only 2 over double digits. Gosman backs down her defender, goes up with the right hand, and will get the foul. As she'll get 2 shots. They're going to get Stone Rock. As that'll be Stone Rock's 3rd personal foul, team 2nd. Hensley will check in for Rao. And with that, surprisingly going to keep Stone Rock in. As Amert will check in, and Glass checks in for the Purple Raiders, sending Sweeney to the bench. Gosman's first shot, good. Much needed point there. Second shot, no good. And now Union seems like every time they get 2 shots, they will not go 2 for 2.
Yeah, you can lose games at the line. You have to be able to go 2 for 2 every time. You're leaving free points out on the court.
Beautiful move by Taphorn. She'll send it back out to Emma Burns. Burns gets the screen, a little bit of separation over to Stone Rock. And Mount Union ball. Didn't see what happened there, but
Looked maybe like a lane violation.
Nonetheless, Mount Union has an opportunity here that they must take advantage of. Sends it up court to Hensley. Hensley shot off. Almost gets her own rebound, but Stone Rock will come up with it for Capital. Bringing up the court is Burns. Burns over to Bosch. Bosch over to Amert. Amert to Taphorn. Taphorn uses her eyes to fake, drives, and gets the basket. She hits the deck and grimaces, but she'll get up and run down the court. Hensley with the ball over to Glass. Glass will take the three, hand in the face, and Hensley with the rebound, but Amert able to get her hands on it. Jump ball, Capital ball. A lot going on right now. 16-point lead for Capital.
Yeah, largest lead of the game, and Mount Union showing no urgency and trying to decrease that.
As Hensley checks back out and Turley will come in for the Purple Raiders. Bring up the court for Capital's Taphorn. Slows it down. Tries to lose her defender over to Amert. Amert to Stone Rock. Stone Rock over to Sek as the ball movement continues to play a big part in Capital's lead. Move the ball around so you find a shot that's worth taking. Pass into Stone Rock, and they'll say it's off Capital, Mount Union ball.
It looked like it hit a couple players there. I couldn't tell who it was last, but Raiders have to take it.
Peoples O'Neal has the ball, tries to back down a defender, uses a right-handed hook, and good. Peoples O'Neal has 4 points on the afternoon. Erica Linder with the ball right now for Capital, trying to set something up. Almost picks up her dribble, decides against it. Over to Stone Rock. Pass inside to Amert with the left hand and good, as Capital really executing almost every layup they take, it seems like. Turley will take an awkward three, banks it in. Wow. As quick catch and shoot there by Turley, and the glass helps her. Over to Sek in the corner. Sek back to Amert. Amert to Linder. Linder to Taphorn. Over to Stone Rock. Every player's touched the ball once again. Stone Rock goes up and finds 2 more points. Pass into Maynard. Capital leads 15 by 15 with 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Out to Hessel. Hessel to Turley. Turley with the screen gets the 3-point shot, and this one did not have the luck that it had last time, as it will find nothing but air. Rao, Schaefer, and Sauter all check in. As we also see Cyphers check in for Capital. As inbound to Bosch. Bosch passes up to Linder. Linder and Bosch seem to be the two that usually control the ball, taking it across half court all game long. Linder back to Bosch. Back to Linder as they'll work through each other. Linder will find Cyphers and plugs it.
She got fouled too.
So she'll get 2 shots, but gotta get the ball down first.
That's always an impressive feat.
Yeah, something that's not easy to do. You try to do it, you can't do it, but we'll get the ball down
probably
here.
30 times out of 31, you miss.
Yeah.
You can't do that. I mean.
And the backup ball's back out. As Kaylee Cyphers will get 2 shots. First shot, no good. Peoples O'Neal with the foul, her third, team third. Second shot. As Cyphers will go 0 for 2, but Bosch able to come up with the rebound, and Capital will get a second chance here. Over to Burns. ball movement. Back over to Bosch. Bosch to Linder. Linder will take the mid-range shot, and good. Can't get more wide open than that. And back up by 17, Capital goes. Sauter brings up the court for Mount Union over to Rao. Rao with the quick three. It's good. Catch and shoot working for the Purple Raiders right now.
You need a couple of those on back-to-back possessions here.
And Linder will bring it back up the court. Rao now the first Purple Raider to reach double digits as she has 10 points on the afternoon with that last three-point shot. Over to Bosch. Bosch wide open, no good. Rebounded by Burns. Back out to Bosch. She'll take the three-point shot. No good. Rebounded by Elena Rao. Rao will bring it back up the court for the Purple Raiders. She'll go up with the right hand, 2 out off the glass, but Schaefer gets the rebound and jump ball.
Man, Rao wasting no time getting on the other end there. Went it coast to coast.
You need the stats metrics on that one.
Yeah.
As Mount Union will maintain possession as the arrow points their way. Annika Sweeney will check in for Turley. Izzy Palamone checks in for Peoples O'Neill. Sauter will inbound it. Into Rao. 2 out off the glass. Schaefer gets the rebound and the easy lay-in. Cuts the lead back down to 12 as full court press back on as the Purple Raiders know they need some urgency as we're getting close to our last 10 minutes. Almost a bad pass there, or it was a bad pass, but almost lost it. And
Double dribble.
they're going to get her with double dribble and a turnover. So Mount Union's full court press rattling the Crusaders.
Couldn't tell who that was. It looked like it was Kaylee Cyphers.
As Bosch tries to go for the steal, gets a little too aggressive, and they'll call her with the shove. Turley's going to check back in after a short stint on the bench. Sweeney back out. 35 seconds remain in this third quarter. Taphorn and Stonebrook check back in for Capital. Turley will inbound it. It's a 12-point Capital lead as 30 seconds and counting. Schaefer waiting for something to happen. Over to Turley. She'll get a little separation. Shoots, banks it in once again. And just like that, it's a 9-point game.
When she's on this side of the court on that left wing, when it leaves her hand, it looks like it's just way off, but then it finds the square on the backboard, and wow.
As Linder tries to take a layup, no good, and off of Cyphers, Mount Union take over. Turley's shot similar to that of Adam Sandler's in Grown Ups.
Yeah.
He hit that top of that square, that top left corner of that square.
Yeah.
Goes in every time, and her last 2 3-point shots have executed that perfectly. Inbound to Rao. Rao, half-court shot. Looked like it had a chance, but wide left from where we're sitting. It looked like it was right on. Yeah. No good. And a late surge there by the Purple Raiders. They were down 17 as they'll go into the fourth quarter down 9. As Brendan, this last 10 minutes looks like it could be a fun one as the battle of the 4th seed is going down.
Well, yeah, the Raiders needed that last surge there going into the break here. I mean, they've got really, if they get those shooters on the court, Turley, Rao, Hensley, Sauter, if they can get those girls really lining up from behind the arc, then they've got a chance in this one. They even started playing well defensively at the end there too. They just can't have those mistakes. Got to play smart and play with the urgency that they need.
Agree with those 4 you stated, and maybe a Hannah Schaefer or Peoples O'Neill to try to create the second chance opportunities.
Yep.
Here's the team they're going to go with. Palamone, Maynard, Hessel, Turley, Rao. So 2 of the 5 we mentioned we feel like is an ideal lineup for this situation will be in.
Forgot about Maynard. She can hit him too.
And for Capital, they'll go with Burns, Taphorn, Bosch, Stone Rock, and Walkman. So they're starting 5. Over to Bosch, who is the leading scorer of today's game with 14. Over to Stone Rock. Back to Burns. Over to Taphorn. And a steal is forced by Elena Rao. Hessel will pass it forward to Rao. And they'll get Rao with a foul. Taphorn not happy.
I'm all for going fast and picking up the pace here, but when you just need to get baskets going,
Got to slow it down.
can't really force anything like they did just there.
As Elena Rao gets her hand in. And Taphorn upset. She says they're playing a press. We need more than one lady up here.
Right.
As Taphorn will inbound it to Bosch. Bosch will take it up the court for the Crusaders. Over to Taphorn. And they're going to call a foul off the ball.
Got Maynard on that one, and that's 4 for her.
Yeah, fourth personal, team second, and she's going to come off. Sauter will check in.
That was uncharacteristic for Ryan Maynard. I don't think she's had 4 all season.
As inbound to Walkman. Burns with a three-point shot, no good. Rebounded by Stone Rock, who's got to be closing in on 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
Burns over to Bosch. Bosch will travel.
Wow.
Elena Rao puts the press on. Bosch tries to lean on her and just falls.
Yeah, it's not like Rao was aggressive there at all. She just had her hands out, playing defense. That's good. That's great clutch defense there.
And a minute has passed by in this fourth quarter. Neither team has scored. The defense going on right now has been great. A few mistakes have been made by the offenses as well, but the defense is really putting on the pressure to start this one. Inbound to Sauter. Over to Rao. Rao trying to make something happen. Spin move, mid-range shot, off. Kind of forced a shot there, not high quality, and Capital takeover. Taphorn brings down the court. Elena Rao, really the definition of press defense, whether it's full court or right here. Defense has really stepped up in the second half. Over to Burns. Pass over to Bosch. Three-point shot, no good. Elena Rao will get the rebound. Elena Rao executes her spin move behind the back, and she loses Taphorn for a second. Over to Hessel. Hessel to Sauter. Sauter had a shot, but hesitated. Back over to Rao. Palamone hesitates as well. Rao won't hesitate. Three-point shot in and out. But rebounded by Hessel and put back in. Lead cut down to 7. Inbound pass tipped by Sauter. Almost intercepted. Just wasn't meant to be. As Burns will come up with it and take it down the court for Capital. Sauter almost a perfect jump there. Just a little too early. Stone Rock with the ball.
That would have been like getting the gift that you wanted on Christmas morning.
And Burns will travel. And we got fundamental mistakes coming the way towards Capital in this fourth quarter. Peoples O'Neill, Glass, and Hensley all check in for Mount Union. And Erica Linder checks in for Capital. Taphorn goes to the bench. You'll see Palamone, Rao, and Turley check out for the Raiders. Sauter brings up the court.
When the stakes are this high in a game like this, you wouldn't want the intensity of this game on any other level.
Hensley over to Sauter. Peoples O'Neill with the screen. Bosch goes right around it. They're going to call a foul on Bosch.
Great shot there by Sauter. Yeah.
Almost ran Sauter out of bounds there. Almert checks in for Stonebrook. That was Bosch's 4th personal foul. She'll check out. Taphorn will check back in. Capital takes over after the foul on Hessel. Her second, being brought up by Taphorn. Over to Amert, back over to Burns. Linder makes a great cut. Just Burns didn't see it quick enough. Over to Amert, back over to Linder. Taphorn inside and intercepted by Hessel. Hessel will get it out to Sauter as she'll bring up the court for the Raiders. She finds Peoples O'Neill, right hand, no good. And a lot of bodies hit the floor and Sauter comes up with it.
Bad defensive rebound for Capital. They gave it up.
Sauter with the three, no good, just misses. Hessel with the offensive rebound. Mount Union will get another chance. You got to come up with one of these if you're the Purple Raiders. Over to Glass. Glass to Hensley. Cross court, back over to Glass. They're trying to find a three. Glass gets a little bit of separation. It's blocked, and Burns comes up with it. Burns passes up to Taphorn. Taphorn, layup no good. Way short. Sauter with the rebound. As Sauter will slow down pace. Over to Glass. Hessel in the corner. Back over to Glass. Wide open. Three ball. Good! Just like that, we have a 4-point ball game.
First 3 points of the game.
And you couldn't come up with a bigger first 3 points of the game than what Glass just did there. Kelsey Glass, the freshman guard, coming up when it matters most. And with 5:39 remaining in this one, your score Capital 54, Mount Union 50. And we have ourselves a battle for home court advantage.
I'm not sure what it is about this team, but they love playing in the fourth quarter, no matter how far down they are. They just find ways to get themselves in the ball game. And now they have a legit shot at taking this one away from Capital.
Dixie Jeffers calls a timeout, and that surge to end the third has really been a big part of this first 4 minutes of this fourth quarter. And she's hoping a timeout will slow it down.
Remind you that they were up by 16 at one point
17.
in this half. 17 at one point in this half. That is dwindled down to just 4.
As you have Jeffers trying to slow down the momentum, and you have Vanette trying to come up with schemes that will get you ahead in this one. As Purple Raiders haven't had a lead since the first quarter, and I believe it was 2-0.
Sounds right. I mean, they've been playing from behind the entire game.
They got that first basket, and Capital kind of took a 7-4 lead and ran away with it. And now here we stand. Capital's lead has dwindled away. 4-point game. Burns with the ball. Over to Taphorn. Taphorn sends it to Cyphers. Back to Burns. Back to Taphorn. The ball movement. We've talked about it. Usually 5 girls touch it every possession. Inside to Cyphers, and it's taken by Peoples O'Neill. Mount Union will run with it. She'll slow it down as it's a 2v3 going on. And now we're back to 5-on-5. Rao with the ball. She checks in during the timeout. Rao will go up the right hand and get the foul as she'll get 2 shots. Shot no good, but she has a chance to make this a 2-point game.
Yeah, and Caroline Taphorn in disbelief. Thought that she didn't even touch her, but Rao able to just fight hard, put her body on the line, and get to the line.
Cyphers out, Stone Rock back in, the ravenous rebounder for Capital. Rao's first shot, no good, and we've seen this all day long. Brendan, free throw line continues.
We could be tied or have the lead if we had hit more free throws.
Continues to be the kryptonite for this Mount Union offense. Second shot for Rao, up and good. Able to convert 1 of 2 and make it a 1-possession ball game. 54-51, 5 minutes remain here in the MAC. Linder will bring up the court for Capital. Linder has a wide open lane to the hoop, closed in on, sends it back out. Burns with a corner 3, no good. Rebounded by Sarah Hessel, and the Raiders go. Hessel over to Sauter. Sauter will bring it up the court. Over to Rao. Rao finds Glass. Glass had the big 3 to bring them within 4. Glass will go up to the right hand, no good. Rebounded by Hessel. Hessel with her right hand, 2 out of Glass. Peoples O'Neill gets the third opportunity, and that one's good.
30 times a charm, now just a 1-point ball game.
Peoples O'Neill with 6 points on the afternoon. Bringing up the court, Emma Burns. Capital leads by 1. Over to Linder. Linder over to Stone Rock. Stone Rock to Burns. Burns to Taphorn. And Walkman found wide open in the paint. And she'll get an easy 2 points. There's a defensive collapse.
The inside game has not been the best for Mount Union today. Peoples O'Neill and Sarah Hessel, miscommunication on that one. Didn't know who was going to pick her up. That's the second time that's happened today.
And a bad pass by Glass will be a Mount Union turnover. She's able to chase her down on the defensive side of things. And she'll foul and one. Emma Burns with an awkward shot finds the net and will get a chance for a third point at the line.
You know, when you're in the situation that Mount Union is in right now, you're down so much, and then you get it to a 1 point game, you want to keep it there. And you don't want to give the momentum back to Capital, and they just did.
Glass, Sauter, Peoples O'Neill out. Maynard, Turley, Schaefer in. Burns shot, good. 59-53, 3:40 remains. Maynard brings up the court for the Purple Raiders.
You need a big basket here.
Maynard had an open shot for a second from behind the three-point line. Over to Turley. Turley goes up with the right hand, no good. Rebounded by Stone Rock.
Bad percentage shot right there.
Capitals lead at 6.
Low percentage. Turley probably should have kicked it out to Rao for a 3-point attempt.
Stone Rock has it. Over to Burns. Back over to Linder. Linder drives and is blocked. As Sarah Hessel gets a hand on the ball, and Elena Rao brings it up for the Purple Raiders. Over to Turley in the corner. Pump fake. Shot. No good. Gets her own rebound and steps on the line. So, great defensive effort there by Hessel. Gets the Purple Raiders the ball, but they cannot come up with any points. And they'll turn the ball over. Bosch checks back in. Again, the leading scorer. She has 14. Stonebrook and Burns not far behind with 12. Leading scorer for the Purple Raiders, Rao with 11.
Raiders running out of offensive possessions here. Time slowly ticking away. And they have to be able to come up with some clutch shots here late. They have to get the ball back.
Now Stonebrook will drive, uses her right hand, and gets it off the glass and in. And it's back up to 8 points for the Crusaders. Lead. 2:15 remains. 2:14. Timeout, Mount Union. As Stonebrook now tied with Bosch with 14 points apiece. And Brendan, it's not looking good for the Purple Raiders.
Yeah, he had a really good run there in the middle of this quarter with around 4 minutes to play. You get it to a 1 point game, 54-53. But then what they've dealt with all game long, coughing the ball up, giving Capital those extra opportunities to get the lead back to where they have had it all game long. Now an 8-point ball game with really, 2:14, not a lot of time when you have to try and get yourself back into it, going into this lead, and also get the ball back without damage being done.
You have a Capital team who's definitely going to try to run the clock out at all costs. As the Purple Raiders will go with Rao, Turley, Maynard, Peoples O'Neill, and Schaefer. Capital will roll with Bosch, Stone Rock, Burns, Taphorn, and Walkman. So starting 5 out there for the Crusaders. Maynard with the ball. Over to Schaefer. Back over to Maynard. Rao. Open for a second from 3. Almost travels.
She wanted that one.
Over to Turley. Back to Rao, who will just shoot it. And it gets tipped. No good. Bosch will come up with it after Schaefer's save attempt.
once it gets down to under a minute and a half to play, you're going to have to start the foul.
As Burns has the ball right now for the Crusaders, over to Stone Rock. Over to Taphorn. Inside to Bosch. Bosch stops. Takes it back out. Rao trying to get the steal. Almost reaches.
They're going to drain it.
And they not only drain it, but find Walkman in the paint for an easy layup. And it's back up to a double-digit lead for Capital. Rao forces the shot. It's blocked. And Taphorn comes up with it.
And that just about does it.
Taphorn.
Yep.
Holding her arm. As the officials will call a timeout. Linder will check in for her. Sauter checks in for Turley. And with a minute 07 remaining in this one, a 10-point Capital lead. Brendan, it's looking like Capital, well, they're 4-5. So
they'll probably be hosting Mount.
yeah, I was going to say, Capital looks like they're going to be hosting the Purple Raiders. And a jump ball. Maynard held on to that one with her arms and legs.
And the Raiders will get the ball back here, so they have a chance to make it a single-digit game here.
Barring what happens for Marietta, if Marietta wins, Capital would then host the Pioneers. But if Marietta loses, Mount Union will get the 5th seed. A Marietta wins mean that Mount Union gets the 6th seed. So really a tough loss here if the score holds, unless we see a miracle. Could end up being 4th to 6th, just like that. And a steal by Capital pretty much wraps this one up, it seems like, as we're down to 47 seconds.
Yeah, and right now Marietta leading Heidelberg after 3, so looks like Mount Union will either be playing, will most likely be playing Ohio Northern.
Yeah, they'll play at Ohio Northern.
If that Marietta game stands.
7-point Marietta lead at the end of 3.
If Marietta loses, then I don't know what will happen.
Marietta loses, Mount Union's at Capital.
At Capital again, okay.
And if Marietta score holds, they will travel to Ada, Ohio to take on the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern. As Capital just going to try to run this one out. Mount Union not going to foul, just try to play press defense and force something.
Try and force a turnover, that's all.
It's going to be a shot
There
clock
it is.
violation.
But too little, too late.
Yeah, 25 seconds remain in this one, so shot clock will be turned off from here on out. Timeout, Mount Union, and yeah, let's just look at the possibilities. So if Marietta loses, Mount plays a Capital team that they split with. They won at Capital, which I guess gives them the advantage maybe. Now if Marietta holds, that game against Ohio Northern on the road could really be a tough one. They're 0-2 on the season against Ohio Northern. Not bad losses. They lost at Ohio Northern by 1 and then by 7 here at the MAC. So Ohio Northern 12-5 in OAC play, 18-6 on the season. And like I said, if Marietta score holds, that will be the matchup at hand for the Purple Raiders.
No matter who Mount Union plays, Capital or Marietta or Ohio Northern, those are going to actually be really good games. They played Ohio Northern pretty well both times. They beat them 58. They lost both games, but it wasn't by much. It was by single digits. So, and then obviously they can play Capital well here and on the road.
And the crowd not happy as the buzzer shouted for the end of the timeout. Mount Union was all ready, and Capital took about an extra 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's bad sportsmanship.
As Rao loses her defender. Shot no good. Jump ball.
Capital ball.
So 21 seconds remain. Capital will take possession. And timeout Capital. So I guess they don't want to end this one as quickly. As they can.
Yeah, and then they went 1-1 against Marietta. So don't count the Raiders out in the quarterfinal game on Tuesday against no matter who they play. So
Yeah, Mount Union split with basically everybody in the OAC except for a sweep of Muskingum, and then they got swept by the top three of Baldwin Wallace, John Carroll, and Ohio Northern, which leads to their 8-10 record after this one. Mount Union will fall to, again, 8-10 in the conference, 14-11 overall, which is still the fourth best record in the conference. Capital will improve to 9-9 OAC play and 14-11 as well.
here's a fun fact for men's basketball. The Ohio Athletic Conference has played an 18-game schedule for the last 40 years. No team has gone 18-0. Only 5 have gone 17-1.
And Mount Union's one of those 5.
Otterbein in 1991, 1992. Ohio Northern twice in 92, 93, and then 2000, 2001. Marietta 3 years ago, and then Mount Union this year, as Mount Union did beat Capital today 82-67 down in Columbus. As Hannah Schaefer checks out
And so does Sauter.
gives Annie Sauter a hug as this is their last regular season home game. A last home game
Yeah,
overall.
after losing this one, this will be the last time those two play in the MAC.
Unless something crazy happens.
In the OAC, the 8, 7, 6, and 5 seeds
all
all
win,
win.
yeah.
So we shouldn't say last, because crazier things have happened. First shot good there by Bosch, as she now becomes the lone leading scorer with 16. As 65-53, Capital leads, 10 seconds remain. Rao will take the three-point shot, no good. Rebounded by Capital. Taphorn will bring it up to court. 3, 2, 1, and that is all she wrote. Your final score, Capital 65, Mount Union 53. And again, the Purple Raiders will end the regular season at 14-11 with an 8-10 OAC record, as they look forward to see where they will be playing next week in the OAC tournament. Brendan, final thoughts on this one?
I mean, this team doesn't give up no matter what. They had a lot of determination to get back into the ball game. We got it to a one-point ball game with about 4 minutes left. Capital, they just cashed in on the mistakes that Mount Union made all game long, and you cannot have that happen in high-stake games like today. We'll see what happens on Tuesday. You can't get, I mean, this team's going to go in with a lot of determination against no matter who they play. This team is going to be getting better slowly all season long. A young roster, a lot of young stars on this team, developing into the college game, getting a feel for it, and we'll see come Tuesday if the entire season and all their hard work leading up to this point in the season pays off.
Yeah, and going forward, you just got to remember, make better passes and make your free throws. Really hurt the Purple Raiders today in this one. Again, the final score, Capital 65, Mount Union 53, as Capital locks up the 4 seed in a home court game in the OAC tournament. Mount Union awaits the final in Marietta to see where they will be going next weekend. Thank you for tuning in to the Mount Union live stream. Again, I'm Will Brienza, alongside me, Brendan Devaney, and have a wonderful day, everybody.